Although not addressed in the newspapers, the Nazis promoted their lethal program by drawing heavily on Christianity's teachings about the Jews. The Nazis routinely presented Jews not only as the root of all of Germany's miseries, but also as bent on taking over the world, subjugating the Aryan race, and destroying Christian civilization, goals that only a people evil and powerful enough to have murdered a god would pursue and could effect. Conflating theological and racial anti-Semitism, Nazi leaders roused their followers by invoking the image of the Jews as Christ killers and Satan's allies, while also characterizing them as subhuman. In a 1932 speech in Nuremberg, Julius Streicher urged his audience to listen to Christ, who said to the Jews, "You are children of the devil." He confirmed that all Jews have one common aim: world dominion. As the leader of the Nazis' April 1, 1933 national boycott of Jewish stores and offices, Streicher proclaimed to an audience of 100,000 in Munich, "Golgotha has not yet been avenged." He pledged that this time it would be the Jews themselves, the crucifiers of Jesus and archenemy of the German people, who would meet their punishment there. Drawing on the medieval libel that Jews murdered Christian children to extract their blood to mix with matzah at Passover, he denounced the Jews as a nation of bloodsuckers. As early as April 1, 1933, the Manchester Guardian warned that Hitler appeared to telegraph the Nazis' annihilationist intentions even in 1925, when he graphically described Jews in Mein Kampf as a spiritual pestilence, the worm of destruction gnawing at the tree of civilization. The survival of civilization demanded the wiping out of the pestilence, the killing of the worm. In a German press interview on May 21, 1933, Hitler combined a hoary Christian anti-Semitic accusation dating from the 14th century with annihilationist imagery similar to that highlighted in The Guardian. Jews were well poisoners of the German and Christian world soul, and this lousy pest, this infection, degenerate in soul and spirit, was something one must exterminate if Germans and Christians were to thrive. From the beginning, the Nazis made their rationale for ridding the world of this pestilence explicit. In what can be called annihilation inversion, the Nazis attributed their own genocidal intentions to the Jews. On April 1, 1933, the Nazi Women's Federation justified that day's national boycott of Jewish stores and offices by explaining that the Jews' objective was the destruction of the German people. The Federation claimed that it was the Jews who were responsible for Germany's defeat in the World War and for the 2 million war dead and the starvation of old men, women, and children, steps toward their ultimate goal. With the Nazis in power, the Jews were now determined to deprive awakened Germany of all possibility to live. The pro-Nazi German newspaper Kölnische Zeitung denounced the March 27, 1933 mass rally in New York's Madison Square Garden to protest Nazi anti-Semitism as a great auto da fe, alluding to the Spanish Inquisition's public burning at the stake of conversos, whom the Nazis, as racial anti-Semites, considered Jews. Now it was the Jews who had become the new inquisitors, who would burn Germans. The Berlin pogroms of 1930 and 1931, even before Hitler came to power, in which organized bands of Nazis shouting "Perish Judea" savagely beat Jews in the streets, smashed the large plate glass windows of Jewish-owned department stores with paving stones, and wrecked Jewish-owned cafes, foreshadowed the infamous Kristallnacht of 1938. Similarly, the Nazis' declaration of war against Germany's 600,000 Jews, broadcast from every wireless station in the country, which preceded their April 1, 1933 national boycott of Jewish stores and offices, loudly foretold the impending disaster.